Hello, I am Gigi Smith. I'm the Writing Center Director and one of the Tutoring Services Supervisors here at CWI. So the Writing Center offers all writing support services for the institution, for all students, and limited support based on availability for faculty and staff as well. But our primary focus is definitely academic student support, and it's for any class. Outside of class, we even help students with things like scholarship applications and resumes. So yeah, if it's related to writing at any stage of the writing process, even if a student doesn't have anything written down, we work with them alongside that process to get them to their finished product. So there are multiple ways to reach us, but the universal sure shot way, I would say, is to have students go to the main Writing Center page, because we have different types of services that we offer depending on what they prefer. So that main page in the Writing Center is going to have the links to all of the different services they have available. Sometimes there's this perception with tutoring services or with the Writing Center that it's remedial support, which is not the case at all. Of course, we want to help the students who feel that they need that extra support, but we're also just as much there for students who want to go from the A to the A+, right? Or students who want to turn in that stellar resume or cover letter. The student's responsibility, at some point, somehow, they do need to be able to ask, right? To ask and to find out where we are. Even if they get nervous at that first step of knowing how to get to us, you as faculty can guide them to that main Writing Center page and show them which link to click on. Like I said, we have multiple services, but if there is something I would ask faculty to be responsible for, it'd be to look for those students who might even have a hard time asking. A lot of times, especially when it comes to writing in particular, there's just this ball of apprehension that kind of encases a lot of students that keeps them from even doing the asking. So ideally, yeah, we'd like to have students ask, but if they struggle to advocate for themselves, then faculty, if there is one ask, please do reach out and say, hey, visit the Writing Center. And the best way to do that, for anything personalized, which we do often, to email me, ggsmith@cwi.edu, and I can start that conversation with you and figuring out what we need to know beforehand so that we can support that student of yours in the best way. Well, I've mentioned this a couple times. We have multiple ways of supporting students. One being that they can meet with a writing consultant in person. We have multiple locations. We're at NCAB and APEN. From that, we can meet virtually. And what's really fantastic too is there is a time when a student needs to work with a writing consultant. The scheduling doesn't line up, right? CWI has recently acquired Upswing. It's our booking platform for all of tutoring services in the Writing Center. So if you can't line your schedule up to meet with an in-house writing consultant, you can be linked to an on-demand writing center or writing tutor through Upswing. That'll all happen seamlessly through the same booking platform. When you get on there to schedule an appointment with a CWI tutor, you can just as easily meet with an Upswing tutor, which is such a new, fantastic feature that really, by the way, speaks to how much CWI supports what we're trying to do for students. We have in-person appointments, virtual appointments, and then if students don't have time for one reason or another, they prefer to not have to meet for a consultation, they can actually send their work in through our email service. It's called ACES, all accessible, by the way, in that main Writing Center page, which was why I was saying that's like the main go-to point there. ACES stands for the Asynchronous Consultation Email Service. That just means a student can send a written draft and get feedback. The turnaround time usually is just around a day. I guess really the only should not I could think of would be not to create the assumption that we're there to proofread papers, because that is probably the one thing we do not do. We don't edit or proofread papers. Rather, consultants work with students in their writing as thinking partners and as writing experts themselves to help the student be able to generate the type of writing. All combined, we have a suite of ways that we are able to support students, and we just want to make sure they're aware of that. And a big part of them becoming aware of that is you being a partner with us in this and getting these resources to them, or getting them, rather, to our resources.